Jeff Keighley's Game Awards highlighted Highguard, they went silent on social media. A lot of people were speculating that they actually canceled this game because it faced a major backlash online, but that hasn't stopped now that they've fully launched it because it is getting destroyed by gamers. Most of the Steam reviews are negative, and the player counts have already tanked. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, for weeks, we have been talking about Highguard and the potential of it getting canceled and not releasing, and them freaking out behind the scenes because it wasn't received very positively. But now that it has fully launched, it is facing an insane amount of backlash. Now, I suppose I will give them credit for one thing, and that was sort of their marketing strategy or the lack thereof. Because they had gone silent after the Game Awards, a lot of people were speculating about this game, probably talking more about it than they would have if they were just releasing like these developer diaries and these showcases. But 24 hours ago, the game released and it hit 97,249 players, which seemed pretty crazy out of the gate. Though, as soon as the sponsored streams stopped, as soon as the shilling stopped, and apparently as soon as people actually played a match of this, they gave up on it. And 24 hours later, its peak is 17,549. It had gone from 97K yesterday all the way down to 11,071 throughout the evening. It has gone up a little bit since then. Ooh, they might actually hit 25K today. But when you can't even hit a fifth of the numbers you had gotten 24 hours previously, yeah, that is an absolutely atrocious sign for your future. I mean, the people that are playing this are not amused with it, and that is another reason why it had gotten to an overwhelmingly negative on Steam. Right now, it's actually sitting at a mostly negative, so it has gone up a little bit. But either way, when you see that this is the red, or even in the yellow and it says that it's mixed, that is not a good look for you, especially when you have the media shilling for you, you clearly paid streamers to play and promote your game. Like, you have everything that you could ever want going for you, and the game's just bad. It's not because of toxic gamers on the internet and that's why it failed. Ooh, not because of hatred. It's because people played it and disliked it. Now, I haven't played it yet. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be jumping into Highguard. I'm going to stream it for a couple of hours, give it a shot. Hey, I played Concord as well, so I need this experience before they shut down the servers. Though, yeah, the people that are playing it or have played it are not happy with the experience that these developers created. I was cautiously optimistic for Highguard. I didn't want to assume anything of the game ahead of launch. With that in mind, I am disappointed with what I've played. Above all, the game is boring. It is wild to me that they seemingly threw every system that exists in video games into this one single experience, and it still is being called boring. That is a feat. There are no NPCs to populate the maps, meaning the only engagement with the maps is looting extremely surface level loot. The movement and shooting is just fine outside of mounts, which actually control very well. The visuals even at 100% res scale with no upscaling or blurry, with things such as forced motion blur. I hate motion blur, and the fact that it is forced is going to drive me insane. I mostly just feel bad for the devs. The game clearly wasn't designed or prepared for this level of scrutiny. Everything is blurry and unclear. The map is the size of Latvia, but you only have 3 players, so most of your time is spent running around the map looking for something to kill. It's saying it's a fast-paced shooter, but also the merchant makes you go mine rare earth metals to buy stuff. The characters are profoundly bland and uninteresting, and the art direction is just like they dumped every cool idea into a vat. What if there was magic? What if there was guns? What if you could ride a bear? What if there was Excalibur? What if there was a giant siege tower? The game isn't fun and isn't interesting. 3v3 is not the right format for this game. TLDR, wait 2 months and they basically say, see how they improve upon the game and see what happens. I don't even know if this is going to be around in 2 months at this point. The developers are saying that apparently they don't need a massive audience for this to be considered a success. But when your game is free to play, it's not like, oh, you got 100,000 players, $40 right off the rip. That's not the case. All you got was their download. I highly doubt a lot of people are swiping their credit card on this experience if you've lost most of them throughout their first hour of playing. Not a good look. Now, of course, this has been pointed and laughed at by the internet, and rightfully so. People saying Jeff owes us an apology. They are proving again and again that made by veteran devs from famous game doesn't guarantee a good game. My face when yet another corporate game turns out to be a boring slop that only interests those same corporate folks in terms of numbers and statistics, laughing my ass off. And you actually have the Access Media already shilling for this game. I am going to do another video tomorrow on this topic, but Nathan Grayson, the guy that Zoe Quinn did the deed with to get positive attention for her game that started Gamergate 1, put up this hit piece about how Highguard is just yet another symptom and victim of a rapidly decaying internet. And he actually uses my videos on how apparently, like, I'm the biggest slop tuber ever, and slop tubers killed this game, which is just so hilarious to me. He doesn't argue any of my points that I make about Highguard within this article. He basically just says you are an alt-right grifter and people like you kill video games. So guys, I guess now I'm not only the #1 fake gamer on the internet and #1 political streamer, but apparently I'm also the #1 game killer. Glad to have you part of my audience, but yeah, that's the angle in which Aftermath and Nathan Grayson are running damage control for Highguard, that, ooh, the toxic chuds killed this game. I don't know, maybe if they made a better fucking game, it wouldn't have died 2 hours after it released. But you also have PC gamers saying Highguard deserves a chance, so don't kill it out of spite. You even have Jeff Keighley posting about Polygon saying Highguard isn't DOA. In fact, after 4 hours, I'm convinced it's one of the best new shooters in years. Yeah, of course they would say that because they're either getting paid to say that or they, of course, need these large studios to stay around so they can continue to get coverage from these big studios. Like, do people not realize that? It's pathetic. And while the Access Media is sitting here damage controlling and shilling, clearly gamers are not buying into this BS given the scores are bad, the player counts are bad. There's posts like this that are getting a lot of coverage that says the developers of Highguard released a game with forced motion blur, no hold to crouch, horrible optimization, 3v3, but the map is massive. Whoever hyped this game up should be deported to Guantanamo Bay Prison. It is legitimately Realm Royale 2.0. So I am very curious to see what is going to happen with Highguard, if we are going to see some sort of resurgence over the weekend in player counts. I highly doubt it. Are we going to actually see this small but dedicated audience stay with the game? Is it going to tank under 11,000 after 48 hours? Only time will tell, but I will be streaming this experience one time and one time only tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. See how bad it is, point and laugh at it most likely, and really criticize and dissect what is maybe good about this game, but also what is really bad. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.